Oh, this isn't going to end well.
This is not going to end well at all. Welcome back to Northern Perspective, everyone. I'm Cypher.
And I'm Fox. It's Monday, so that means school was back in session. And no, we don't mean public school or high school. We mean Pierre schooling yet another reporter trying to make a name for themselves.
Let's take a look.
Next question.
Hi, Brian Weatherhead from CTV News. I love your slogan, jail not bail, but then I assume you must want to abolish the presumption of innocence in Canada.
No, because the people for whom I'm going to apply jail and not bail are people who've been convicted sometimes on dozens of occasions prior to their most recent arrests. Let me give you proof. In Vancouver, they had to arrest the same 40 offenders 6,000 times in 1 year. That means in some cases, not in some cases. On average, an offender would have been arrested 150 times a year. Many of them would have had 100 arrests, and they're newly arrested for a serious violent offense and literally released within hours. The principle of bail is that if someone is arrested for the first or second time, or perhaps have never been convicted of anything, that the presumption of innocence allows them to be free till they await trial. That does not apply to someone who's already been convicted 60, 70, 80 times, and through their prior convictions have proven to be a danger to society. And that is why common sense conservatives will bring jail, not bail, to repeat violent offenders and career car thieves.
What a dumb question. Like, oh, so you want to keep criminals in jail, so you're against the presumption of innocence. Like, these are reporters that are either stupid, or they're not even listening to what Pierre has been saying, or they're paid by the Liberals, or maybe all three.
There you go.
So,
did we catch where that reporter was from?
No, but I don't think it matters.
Probably mainstream media.
But like, that's the thing. Like, he's saying, oh, well, you're against the presumption of innocence. Dude, they're not arresting he's not talking about people that are being arrested on jaywalking. He's talking about people that are being arrested for like carjacking and assault and armed robbery or something like that. Like, violent crimes. What is wrong with you?
But this is exactly what the Liberals believe. They don't believe in property rights. So they don't believe in your right to protect yourself or your property. So when criminals come and do this stuff, oh, well, we'll just give them a slap on the wrist and off they go, because it's not a big deal to the Liberals that this is happening.
Thank you. Next question.
Jerome from Omni News. An internal email obtained by the Globe and Mail shows your party has advised MPs not to comment publicly on Alberta's new transgender health and education policies. Why are you telling MPs not to comment on this? And can you please tell us your opinion on your party's position on decreasing restrictions on transgender youth?
Sorry, what's that? What was the last part of your question?
Why are you telling MPs not to comment on this? And can you please tell us your opinion on your party's position on increasing restrictions on transgender youth?
Uh-oh.
Oh, this isn't going to end well.
This is not going to end well at all. At all. Oh my goodness. Okay, so, the first part of his question was okay. But the problem is this, it's just amazing. This is mainstream media, folks. This is what they're doing. And they know damn well how our political system works. But all of this is to gaslight Canadians. So what they're trying to do is say that Danielle Smith's party is the same party as Pierre Poilievre's. No, it is not. Danielle Smith is a conservative. And her political arena starts and ends within the borders of Alberta. Has nothing to do with the federal Conservatives. Pierre's party, it starts and ends around the boundaries of Canada. However, there's a whole bunch of exclusions in there, which is everything that is managed by the provinces. The provinces' premiers and the people that are in the federal government, one is not above the other. They're just in different arenas.
Well, and the reporters know this. I mean, they may as well compare, say, Daniel Smith to the party in the Conservative Party in the UK. Like, it doesn't matter. They're completely different things, and they share a name only.
So I imagine what Pierre's response would have been to the first part of that question is, I've advised my MPs not to comment on it because it's none of our business. It's not in our jurisdiction to be interfering with the matters of the different provinces. That's the reason. What Pierre does comment on when it comes to provinces is what the federal government is working with them in doing, such as safe supply. But when you're talking about stuff like this, it's none of their business. So you don't talk about it. If you recall when the stuff went down in New Brunswick, Pierre didn't get into it. What he did engage in was Trudeau, because Trudeau was commenting on it. And he was telling him to butt out of it. The provincial matters are none of your business. You know, the fact that this guy is now making an accusation that the federal Conservative Party is coming after these people, I'm very interested in how this goes.
Okay, well, your question contains falsehoods. You should tell me what restrictions you're referring to.
That's the question they gave me.
That's the question they gave you. Who gave you that question?
That's from my office, from my desk.
Which desk is that?
It's from Omni News.
Okay. This is the problem. Justin Trudeau and the media have been spreading disinformation to distract from his doubling of housing costs, his quadrupling of the carbon tax, the crime wave that he's unleashed across the country. And they're doing that by spreading disinformation on this and other issues. Justin Trudeau does not want to defend his appalling record of sending 2 million people to food banks. And so he's spreading disinformation on this subject with the help of the media, who want to cover up for his failures. Our approach is to focus on our common sense plan, to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime.
That was insane.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a reporter take it lying down like that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, for anyone who is unemployed, apparently we've learned in real time, all you need to do to be a reporter is you show up at a media organization, grab a piece of paper, and then show up at a press conference and read what's on the paper. You don't even have to know what it means. That's what this reporter just said. Pierre says, so, what restrictions are you talking about? I don't know. This is the question they gave me. That's what he said. Well, like, what?
And this is the great thing about indie media is we don't answer to anybody.
Right.
We get to say what we want to say when we want to say it.
Right.
And we will provide our interpretation of the truth backed up by the data that you can go and see yourself.
But this just goes to show, folks, the mainstream media doesn't give a damn about the answers that are actually coming back.
No, because some asshole in some corner office is like, hey, Bob the reporter, go out and ask this today.
Yeah, and what's probably behind that? Freeland or somebody at Parliament Hill called me and gave me some questions to ask Pierre. So that's what we're going to do today. That's kind of a condition of our funding. No, it's not a condition of their funding, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were using that as leverage. You want to continue to get your funding? You ask some questions from time to time that we want you to. Holy crap, folks! This is the state that we're in.
Thank you. This will be the final question.
Sue from CBC. Just to follow up on the previous question and the video of that Danielle Smith released. your where do you represent? Sorry, where do the Conservatives stand on these issues that she had talked about in the video?
Oh, we stand for common sense, like on everything else. Our approach is to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. And we extend that same, we extend common sense to all issues. Now, Justin Trudeau wants to use this as a wedge issue. He's now trying to distract from doubling housing costs, quadrupling the carbon tax, unleashing crime and chaos in our communities, forcing 2 million people to the food bank. And so he is spreading disinformation on this subject. And it's time for Justin Trudeau to stop distracting and dividing Canadians. Let parents raise kids and provinces run schools and hospitals. That's my common sense approach, and it's time to bring it home.
You heard how nervous the CBC reporter was before asking that question.
We all know Pierre dislikes the CBC, but I would expect him to be maybe extra spicy after that last question.
Oh, for sure. But here's the thing. This is exactly what Trudeau is looking to do. He's trying to get anything on Pierre because they've made no mistakes, right? Or I should say they've made few mistakes.
Well, and even the quote-unquote mistakes that the Conservatives have made, the Liberals have twisted it and spun it and turned it into something completely different.
Right. And,
as you've seen in our reporting.
And as Pierre said in his answer, he said essentially a very summarized version of what we talked about. Trudeau needs to let the provinces run their schools and run their hospitals, meaning it's not your arena. It's inappropriate to comment on it. It really, really is. Trudeau, you don't have to like what one of the provinces is doing, but guess what? It's up to them. It is up to them. But this is why Pierre is doing so well with the media, so well with the polls. He sniffs out these questions, listens very carefully to how they're being asked, and then exposes the rot that is just oozing out of not even just the government, but obviously the mainstream media, and he's turning it on its head. And this is why people like Pierre, because people are tired of the bullshit. They're tired of the mouthpieces, and they're tired of Trudeau and this government destroying this country by thinking that they can lie to Canadians. So it's nice to see somebody actually standing up and calling bullshit whenever they hear it.